waiting. Sorry for the wait. Welcome to Body by Melody Live. And I am going to get my mic set up here. Thought I had it on. So give me a thumbs up if you guys can hear me clearly. And we're going to get started. Okay. It has been a month since we have met, guys, and I just want to say welcome, welcome, welcome. I am super excited to come and do this live orientation with you for what I consider to be a home gym essential. And today I'm featuring one particular brand, and it's not a brand that has sponsored this video, but I do earn as an Amazon affiliate and Walmart partner the commission from the links that I've posted. If you decide to purchase them, I do earn from qualifying purchases. But the equipment was not sponsored by the brand, but it is a brand that I do respect and I've done the research and I actually like them. Okay. And there's a couple of different reasons why I like them. And I'm going to share those with you guys as well. So let me just get ready here. Are any of you guys like morning people by any chance? I'm not in that category. Okay, so let's see. I don't know where my chat. Oh, there's my chat. Okay, cool. Okay, okay. All right, cool. All right, so we are ready to rumble. I'm going to get started here. Welcome to whoever's watching live and whoever's going to be watching in the future. Thank you so much for being a part of this journey. Okay, so I think this is all set up. And let me put this here like that. Okay, cool. So today I am going over the Lifepro Viber Pulse. And as you can see, I picked it up pretty easily. And that's one of the reasons why I chose to do a review on it, is that it is portable. You can take it to your office. You can take it on vacation if you're doing a road trip. I don't think you can take this on the plane, but maybe you can. I don't know. But, that's something I'd like to know if you guys are going to be traveling. It's about 20 pounds. So I think it does meet the standard for carry-on luggage, but I don't know if it's an electrical uh, component like this. If you can take laptops, I guess you could take this. I'm not sure. But either way, it's portable. So you can take it anywhere in the house. You can put it in your home office. And it's pretty easy to maneuver and pick up. And also at the bottom here, you can hold it here, so you're not holding it here, because obviously you don't want to hold it here over long term. You want to kind of like hold it here to prevent, any kind of like malfunctioning of the parts. Not that'll be the case. And speaking of parts, it does come with a lifetime warranty. So when you get it within 14 days, you do your lifetime warranty. And even though I know that it does come with a lifetime warranty, I still got the Assyrian equipment insurance, because that covers like spillages or just other stuff outside of the warranty per se. But one of the reasons why I chose to feature Lifepro is that they're very responsive in their, I guess I'd call it aftercare. So after you purchase it, you're not on your own. If you have any issues with the equipment, you can always write to them, but they do manufacture them to perfection, so you have as few issues as possible. And then at the bottom here, this is where you would attach your resistance bands to do the upper body workouts using the resistance bands that come with it. So those are some of the features, but I'm going to put that there, and then I'll come back to it later. And this one too. Okay, I'm going to do it like this. It's a little bit loose. I need a screwdriver. But so there's this side as well. So okay. Well, oh well. We'll leave that there. Oh, there's another thing I was going to go over. So here, this is where you can press on and off if you're in a seated position. This is where they have preset programs here. They have like 9 preset programs, and you can increase your speed. Reduce your speed, increase your speed. And here's your EMS function where it sends electromagnetic pulses or whatever, EMS. And you can decrease it here, increase it here. It goes up to 6 levels. Now, that's when you're seated. But if you're standing, there's an advantage of the remote control. So you don't have to go through maneuvering that using fingers. You don't have to bend down and adjust anything. I just wanted you guys to get more familiar with that. So here's the remote control. Here's your power button. Okay. So here's your power button, and this is your start button. When you turn it on, it goes straight to default. And then up and down here, this is where you increase your speed. It goes up to 99 is the measurement of the speed. And then here's your time. So you can need my reading glasses just a little bit. Okay, either way, here's your time. You can increase or decrease your time here. And then this is where you can pause it immediately whenever you need to. So those two buttons, that's the pause. And then the M stands for going from 20, 50, and 80 in speed quickly without you having to press the up or down button. And then we have here the EMS. You can increase the EMS here on H. It goes up to 6 levels of the EMS. It feels really, really good. So I'm going to go through all of that, and you guys get to hear just how quiet it is. It's more quiet when you stand on it, though. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Thank you. Welcome. I'm going over the Vibra Pulse, and you guys can click the link inside the description or just above, wherever it is on the screen, and just check it out for yourself. Check out the reviews. I read all the reviews on every platform. And I would encourage you to, at least read the first 10 and also read the ones that are, saying a bunch of stuff that, you know, they're just saying stuff. So it comes with the 2 resistance bands. We're not going to use that right off the bat. I'm going to just go over the beginning part. And you always want to disconnect it at the end. You don't want to keep it connected overnight. It's just my recommendation. Good morning. Good morning. All right. Some of these comments, here's the thing, guys, welcome to my community. I really, really appreciate you. Thank you so much. But this is a place of health, and your health is wealth. Good morning, and welcome. So I'm going over the Vibra Pulse. So I'm going to go ahead and get this connected to the plate, and then I'm going to take it from there, okay? And I do recommend another thing here, as soon as I get myself situated, and then we're going to turn this on. Cool. So I do recommend that you do read the manual. So read the manual from cover to cover. A lot of the times people just get on these machines. I come from the old school where it was like the power plates, like the massive commercial grade vibration plates, and you do it with a certified professional. Now you can have this in your home. I'm totally for it, but I do recommend that you read the entire manual from front to back. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through most of the important things about the manual, and read it with you because I've read it, but I just want to go through it with you. So I'm going to go ahead and press the start button here, and welcome everyone. Okay. I am so I'm removing some comments here, guys. Thank you so much for showing up. Thank you for being here. I welcome you to stay. Thank you for your kind words. All right, here we go. So this is where it starts. And for some reason, it also makes my lights go. I don't know why. I don't know why it turns on the lights or why the remotes do that. So I'm just gonna put that back here. Hopefully, and if it keeps doing that, I'm just gonna turn the lights off completely. So this is the increased speed. Okay, these lights are trying to do more than I need them to, so I'm gonna just turn them off. Okay. So I'm just going to increase the speed here so you guys, this is speed 7. This is 10. It goes up to 99. This is 15. So I find that at like about 19, it starts to make that sound. But that sound is not a malfunction of the equipment. It's just at the bottom, I just have to tighten one of those um, things that you attach the resistance bands to. That's it. It's not malfunctioning. So I'm just going to take this down because I'm going to increase the speed with me actually on it. So I'm just going to stop it there. So let's go ahead and go through. So when you are, can you guys see? Can you guys give me a thumbs up if you guys can see this? Because the chat is blocking. If you guys, I guess I could go down here. Yeah, okay, you guys should be able to see. Okay, cool. So I'm going to start with my feet together, and this is the easy, easy version. And then if you go medium outward, this is medium difficulty. And then if you go to the complete outside, I mean, the widest stance, this is more difficult. So we're going to start with the easy here. And you want to make your feet adjustment when it's off. Okay, so you don't want to do it in the middle. I mean, I've done it when it's on, but I just recommend that you do it when you've stopped it. So we're going to go ahead and go to one of the presets. So it has 9 presets, which is the P letter in the middle of the remote control. And it goes to the first preset, and you can change the preset. You can go up in difficulty. So there's different parts there that I'll go over that are in the manual. So like I mentioned, this is the easy part here. And then you can widen your stance carefully. And this is a little bit more difficult. The same vibration level. And then if you go wider to the widest part, this is more difficult. So it gives you more of a vibrational exposure. Now, one thing you may not notice off the bat is that my knees are slightly bent. So I'm not fully in a squat, my knees are slightly bent. You don't want to have your arms completely straight and your knees locked. That's not recommended. I see people do that quite often, and it's just, I don't recommend it. And I think even the manual doesn't recommend it either. So I'm going to bring this back to about here, the medium, a little bit closer. And I'm going to go ahead and show you the increase in speed. So it goes up to 99. So we're at 6 right now. So we're at 15 right now. However, if you wanted to do a jump, you can press the M button on the remote control that I mentioned earlier, and that will take you straight to 20 right away. You press the M button again, it'll take you to 50. And this is 50. And again, my knees are locked. I mean, my knees are not locked. That's slightly bent. And even my arms are bent here for similar purposes. And you press the M button a third time, it'll take you to 80 right off the bat. And this is 80. Thank you for the fire emojis. I hope you guys can hear me. This thing is on, so my voice may be reverberating a little bit, but I hope you can still hear me clearly. So it's at 80. If you press the M button again, it takes it down to, I think it goes down to like 20 again. Yeah, goes back down to 20. So it's 20, 50, and 80. So this function is really a little bit more advanced. So I'm just showing you the different areas of this. But to start out, I would say, keep it under 10. So I'm at speed 1 again. So this is a nice starting point. It is recommended that you do this for 20 minutes, 3 times a week, and that you don't stay on for longer than 20 minutes. Now, when I'm going to be doing more of the workouts coming up, I'm going to be doing it for longer because I'll be doing the workouts with you and for you, but it is recommended 20 minutes at the most, 3 times a week. So I mentioned earlier the EMS. Now, when you are standing on it, you can adjust the EMS and you can go up to 6, and that's the H here. I found that I can't really feel it when I have my sneakers on, but if I obviously take my shoes off and I have my feet in direct contact on the vibration plate, you can feel the electrical pulses. So you can increase that here, and then you decrease it at the L. Oh, actually, I can feel it through my sneakers. Oh, interesting. I just felt it, but it's not as emphasized as when you actually have your shoes off. Okay. So, what else did I want to go over with you guys? So that's pretty much it. So I'm going to go ahead and press pause there. And let me see if you guys have any questions. Okay. Hi. All right. I see the light. I don't know what that means. Anyway, welcome, guys. So you can click on the um, on the link in my description, and also you can click shop from wherever you're looking at to take a look at it again. So I'm just going to go over this again one more time. So here we're going to press play, and it goes straight to the default. I'm going to increase the speed so you guys can hear that it is actually very silent. It actually sounds better when you have yourself on it. So I'm going to go ahead and increase the speed again for you guys. Let's see what you guys are saying here. Okay, so someone here says, why don't you just go jogging instead of standing there like that unless you enjoy it? So there's different things you can do on here. So great question. Why don't you just go jogging? So when you stand on it with your feet closest together, I'm going to press it on here so you guys can hear. This is similar to walking. When you go out here, this emulates a jogging workout. So if you did want to forego going outside and jogging, you can do this for 10 minutes, and this is apparently, it's supposedly closer to doing 30 minutes of a jog. So one of the reasons why some people don't jog is because one, joint impact. This is a low impact, joint friendly alternative to jogging. However, for other people, it could be an addition to going out and jogging to compound your results, to expand your portfolio of workouts. But for why somebody would stand on this for 10 minutes with the medium stance like I am to emulate the results of jogging for 30 minutes for low impact joint workout that gives you the advantage of muscle contraction. So when you stand on this, your muscles are contracting um, involuntarily because of the oscillation of the device and the vibration of the device. And that gives you double the workout impact without double the joint impact, and gives you the double the efficiency of your time. So there's different reasons why people would stand on it. at whatever stage of life you're in. And this ranges from, you know, athletes, whether it's teenagers or somebody who is of distinct age or senior, could do this as well. And with any, just a range of people, you can do a lot of the workouts even with your feet planted, seated. So I do have a chair out here, but the depth of for this filming, I'm not going to be using the chair yet. So you can stand on it to emulate jogging. You can do seated workouts to still get the circulation or improve the circulation in your body using it. So I hope that answers your question why somebody would, depending on the individual, why would they stand on the vibration plate? So some people, they may not like it, but they may like the results. I like the results more than I do like the vibration. So me personally, I would do both. I would go jogging, I would do a run, I would still do a walk, but I would add this as another way to get the workout doubling my results at the end. But in place of those other things, you can stand medium, feet apart 20 minutes on this, or even 10 minutes, and it'll be equivalent to 30 to 60 minutes jogging outside. And also, if people are jogging outside, depending on where you're jogging, if you're jogging, in my opinion, on asphalt or cement, it's not good for your joints, even if you wear the best shoes. It just isn't. I mean, I did it, and I wouldn't recommend it. I used to go to a running track and run there, but if there's no running track nearby and you're on cement, um, asphalt, I don't think it's recommended, because when you go on asphalt as you're running, you're making that impact, and the asphalt is not giving you back any bounce. So all of that impact is going through your spine, your hips, your ankles, and back up, and there's no give, and that impact may not be that great. You may not feel the impact of it right away, but that's another reason why I would say, stand on the plate with this medium stance, um, to emulate the jogging outcome without going for a jog, for low impact purposes. So there's that. Okay, let me see what you guys are saying here. And also, like I mentioned earlier, the portability of it. I'll pick it up again in just a moment. Um, yes, so I have someone on here that's touching um, on you. Okay, so I know that I'm going to go a little bit early. I'm going to address something that someone's thinking that they're being funny. Um, you can sit on the vibration plate, the context in which you made the comment was slightly distasteful, in that it's more of a joke as opposed to the seriousness of the fact that particularly women do need to sit on a vibration plate at the lower levels because of the next point, which is to improve circulation, and contribute to lymphatic drainage. So this piece of equipment is in physical therapy offices and in doctor offices for those purposes. However, I do see a lot of people sitting directly on the plate. You can, um, per se, but I would recommend that you have a film of distinction, like either a exercise mat, or a towel over it, and then you can sit on it to improve your circulation, to help with the lymphatic drainage in your um, lower extremities, particularly your hips and your thighs, and everything will go down. So you can sit on it at the lower speed. So it's not really funny to sit on this. It's actually a huge advantage. My recommendation is that you sit on it with a towel. Now, I'm going to be doing different things with this. This is an orientation and a review of it. But if you see me sitting on it or doing other exercises that are a little bit more closer contact like with my hands, or elbows, I always recommend that you have a separate towel or an exercise mat to put it on if you're going to get that close to it for those purposes. Okay, so Someone mentioned something that I'm going to go over, which is very briefly because I'm not a medical professional. However, it is recommended that being on the vibration plate, and I do agree, is good for lymphatic drainage, moving toxins in your. Somebody said, but there is no intensity resistance, therefore you can get strong. Actually, you can do strength training on this as well. And because of the involuntary muscular activation and it pulls your muscles from your bones. That's just like a layman's way of explaining what's going on. And that actually it contributes to strengthening of your bones and improvement of your bone density. So it does have strength training uh, contributions even without adding a workout, but it definitely can be used in conjunction with strength training to compound all of that going on. So you've got the vibration plate, and then you can add resistance bands, which are over here. You can add the what do you call it? Dumbbells. So I was distracted by a comment. I really love everyone on here. Thank you for being so kind and all of that. So I'm just going to, okay, there we go. Okay, cool. All right. So we're going to go over it again. I'm going to show you the portability of it and why I recommend it. So before you disconnect it, you turn it off there. One of the reasons why I really like the Vibra Pulse in particular is its portability. So you can see here, it's portable. And these are the functions that I was mentioning earlier that are also on the remote control so if you're seated, you can actually control it on here. Thank you so much for your kind comments, guys. Very kind comments. So I am going to now put the attachments on and show you guys a few of the resistance band workouts that I would recommend that you can do on here for additional strength training before we move on. All right. Thank you guys. If you have any questions, please let me know. You can always click the shop button in the description or click the link in the description, wherever it is. I don't know whether you guys are on your desktop. I don't know where it shows up. You can click it and check out the reviews for yourself. And before I do that, so I'm just going to attach the carabiner to these parts here, these loops at the bottom. And then we're going to move on with the demonstration, show you how the resistance bands can be added to this for the strength component. If you didn't have dumbbells, you could just use the actual plate. And this one is just, I don't have a screwdriver. I need to tighten that other part there. Okay. So once I have that attached, I am going to go ahead and reconnect this for us, guys, and then we're going to continue on. And then before I get on, I'm going to see if you guys have any other questions about it. Okay, cool. Let me see what the view is like, if you guys can actually see it here. Can you guys see it in full? Give me a fire emoji if you can see the entire plate here. I'm trying to look at my, okay, I think you can. I think you guys can see it. Yeah? Cool. All right. So let's put that down there. Let me see what you guys got to say to me before I move on. All right. Someone's saying I like that skateboard. It's a Vibra Pulse Lifepro vibration plate. It's like on a skateboard. Hi and welcome. Okay. Good morning. Good morning. Oh, well, I'm glad you're motivated to exercise. All right, so here we go. I'm going to go on. If you guys have any questions, the chat view, okay, I see what you mean. I guess I needed more depth. Thank you. Someone says the chat words are kind of blocking the view, but you can see it blocks my view too, so I can't really see unless I'm on the laptop here. I'm watching the live with you guys as I'm doing it. All right, so I see what you mean. You would need like a little bit more depth for the live. Thanks for pointing that out. Okay, cool. So I'm going to go ahead and grab handle here and go through kind of like a few other things that you can do with your vibration plate if you were contemplating getting one. So whether you're watching live, whether you're going to watch later, I hope that this is helpful. One of the things I do recommend is that you do read the manual from start to finish so that you understand how to use this at home and you can replace your personal trainer. You can sort of replace me. Okay. So you can hold this here and okay, let me just come a little bit closer. Oh, I see what this is. Okay, 1 second. Just have to push that part down. Like, what is that sound? Okay. So you can do bicep curls. You can do pull-ups, high pulls, I mean to say. So you can do this for time, or you can do it reps. Another thing you can do, you can just hold it out like that, or hold it in front. And you can do your squats. So it's making a little bit of a sound here. I wonder if I didn't put this in correctly. So I recommend that you stop it when you're making your adjustments. Don't do what I'm doing right now. Oh, I see what I did. Because this is part. Okay, that should have solved it. Okay, we're ready. So don't do what I do. Stop it and then do your adjustments. So I just had to move the plastic part to cover the metal casing that's attached to it in order to stop that clinking sound that you heard. Okay, or you can just hold it here. So you can do your bicep curls whilst you're standing. And I'm standing medium width apart. And this will give you a combination of strength training and a light jog benefit. But I won't really call it a light jog. I'm just going to say it just makes it a medium intensity workout. And then you can switch to your high pulls, like I mentioned earlier before it started clanking really loudly when I didn't have it correctly covering the casing part. And then you can do your squats. Add a little bit more resistance here. Okay, so you can also cross it. So when you're doing your high pulls, it's a little bit more intense. And you can keep the cross to increase the resistance intensity as well. And then you can hold it up. So it's a nice core workout also for your upper body, your back, your shoulders. And then you can just hold it out here. And remember, my knees are slightly bent. Okay, so let me see what you guys are saying here. So let me go ahead and pause it and answer any questions that you guys might have. Okay. You know, some of, okay, let me take this out here. Okay. All right. Good morning. Thank you so much for coming on today, guys. Um, it's really early in the morning, and you guys are usually very nice. Today it's been a little bit spicy in the chat. So I don't know. I took a month off so that I could get some extra stuff for the home gym essentials. But for the most part, I want to thank everyone for when I'm looking on here, I'm looking at your chats, and some of your chats I do remove because they're not very nice, not very kind. So before you make a comment going forward, I just ask that you just be kind because it's just because you're on a keyboard doesn't mean I'm not a human and you're not a human, and you have to be nice to each other. And some of your comments are a little bit a little bit on the not good spice side. And I like spicy, but some of the spice is just not it's not it's not great sometimes. So, all right, so guys, I'm going over the Fiber Pulse vibration plate by Lifepro, and I wanted to go over some of the key features on here. So I'm going to go back on. Let's turn that back on. So I'm going to press. I'm going to show you the speed variation here. So I'm going to bring my feet together so this makes it easier. So this is the easiest stance. You can do this 10 minutes, a little bit wider. This is medium intensity and difficulty, and you go all the way out. This makes it more intense and is the highest difficulty level of standing on the vibration plate. So a couple of things you can do on here. You can do squats and hold a squat for as long as you can and then come back up. Or you can do squat up and down. So this is you standing on it. And this is a great way to get a leg workout in, improve your circulation, improve your lymphatic health because of the vibration. It also has, the VibraPulse has an EMS function where it sends what feels like electrical pulses through the plate. And there's 6 level electrical pulses that you can control from this button here in the middle that looks like a water wave or something like that. That's the EMS. And you can increase your EMS by pressing the H. It goes up to 6. They're also in the middle here, there are 9 preset um, workouts in or preset settings in the program for this, but you can also do additional customized program yourself, increase the intensity, and they go up to 20-minute max. So you can't increase the time on the preset programs, and there are 9 of them, but what you can do is increase your speed. And now we're going to go over increasing the speed. So if you didn't want to increase the speed gradually, and let's say you're at a place where you can actually do this, I'm going to go over what goes for. So I'm here at 0 speed, and I'm going to go ahead and bring this back to about medium because it gets intense. I'm going to increase the speed to, by pressing it once, it's going to take it to 20. So I don't know if you guys remember in the 50s, they had that belt that was like the OG vibration technology, in my opinion. Vibration technology has been around for a minute. I'm so glad that we've come past the belt stages. So when you press the M button, again, it goes from 20 speed to 50 speed jump for you in a matter of seconds. And now we're at 50, and this is 50. My knees are slightly bent, and so are my arms. So you never want to have I don't recommend that you have your knees locked and straightened or your arms completely down at all times. I would recommend that you kind of like be in this position here, it's slightly bent and a slight bending in the knees. Now you don't have to be this emphasized, but it's like a slight bending of the knees where my knees are not locked and straight. If that makes sense. So this is at 50. So if you can handle it, you press the M button, it takes you up to 80 in a matter of seconds. So it's going up now, and we're at 80, and this is the 80 speed. And this is intense. So again, if you want to find out more about the VibraPulse, it's in my description or If you're on your cell phone, I don't know where it shows up, but you guys to click on it and you can read the reviews for yourself, see if you want it. Now, you might think, oh, is this good for strength training? Absolutely. I am used to the commercial grade, the big kind, when I was in the gyms, that like 10, $20,000, Um, but this is an affordable home vibration technology for less than a fraction of the price of one that's commercial grade. And you can just do this in the comfort of your home. You can do it in your home office. You can take it to your office. It's portable. And if you sit around a lot, if you're somebody who sits a lot during the day, this will help you with improving your circulation. So a lot of times when people have sedentary lifestyles or work styles, this will be a great thing to add because then it'll improve your circulation, right? And you can put it under your desk while you're seated, so you don't always have to be standing on it. So there's that. Let me see if you guys have any questions before I move on to the next part. I completely understand. Someone made a comment here saying, how useless does absolutely nothing. At Pandemic Grower 4212, I completely understand why you'd say that, but it's not doing nothing actually. If you read up on vibration technology and how a lot of these devices are actually in doctors' offices and physical therapy offices, they're fantastic for doing so much more. It's almost effortless, but it's a lot more effort involuntarily by your body, if that makes any sense. Let's see. All right. It helps with lymphatic drainage, improving your circulation. It also helps with activating your muscles with you just standing on it. But you can also compound that with a workout. So it makes your workout even double the time, double effort without more effort. Your body's doing more work without you having to do more work per se. So, but I completely understand it's not for everyone. So, I'm here obviously for work. Thank you guys for coming on here. If you would like more information about getting a program for yourself, there is a link in my description here. Let me see. Let me put my link on here. You can let me know if you want to be a part of my circle here. Let me see. So here's a link to my store. Here's a link to my Amazon store. You can take a look at the other stuff that I have on here that you may want to grab. And let me see, where is my page? I can't find where you guys can subscribe, put your email. Okay, so here is my page if you want to get in touch with me in real life. Here it is, since you guys were asking. And then you just, in the drop-down menu, let me know what it is that you're interested in. I think I have everything from my YouTube workouts, or you just want to stay in contact with whatever I've got going on. So go ahead and click that. You guys are really spicy. It's so early in the morning. How are y'all so spicy? What happened? All right. So if you guys wanted to add weight training to your routine on here, you can add your dumbbells. So you wanted to do something a little bit more strength based, you can do that. So the only thing I will say this is I would love if they had it, maybe they do, and I just don't know about it, if they had the remote where you can control it from a watch. But either way, so we're going to get back on. So I'm here demonstrating the Vibropulse Lifepro. This is their This is, I won't call it entry level, but it is one of their lower expensive vibration plates. And what I loved about it over the Waver, and I'm not saying the Waver or the other ones are not great, they're fantastic. It just depends on what it is you're looking for. And I was looking for something that will be portable, particularly because a lot of my customers and clients work from home, or they have office jobs where they're sitting a lot, or they have standing jobs where they're standing on cement all day, right? Even whether you're sitting or standing, the surface upon which you're standing, the quality of that matters. So if you don't have like some kind of like mat underneath where you're standing, if you're standing all day, your circulation could still be poor and you still may not have the time to do a full workout at the gym. You just want to come straight home. Well, one of the things I loved about this is that you can actually slip this under the bed, or you can slip it under the couch if your couch has that clearance. And then when you're seated watching the TV after work, you can just put this on, and it's very quiet. It has a low decibel sound, and it has four corners, suction points, that also help minimize the level of vibrational sound. I'm on carpet, and but if you're on wood, those 4 points would also prevent the vibration from going through as much in terms of sound. Now, there's other mats you can put under this to reduce the vibration sound completely. And I saw one on Amazon, and I'll cover that maybe next month. But for right now, I want to say that it's pretty quiet and it's pretty. Um, it's not like if you heard the commercial grade vibration devices, they're pretty loud. Like you can hear them, but this one is very very subtle. So you can have it in a bedroom, you can have it in your home office, you can take it to your office if you're going to be, if you want to really take your fitness level to another level. This is a home gym essential, but it's also an office essential, in my opinion, in terms of like improving your circulation because of your work lifestyle being more seated and or your work lifestyle being more standing. All right, so I'm going to put this more standing oriented. So I'm going to go ahead and grab the weight. So you can do different things on here. So you can do a workout. I'm just going to use one dumbbell just for demonstration purposes. So you can do your squats and hold a squat here just to increase the intensity of your squat and come back up. Or you can just do a repeat here. So I'm doing most of the exercises on the plate. You can take your leg and take it off and do a side lunge. It's just, for right now, I'm keeping things very simple so you guys can get kind of like an idea of what it would be like to do a workout on this if you were to, if you're watching this now, you're watching this later. And you can also do bicep curls on here if you didn't want to use the resistance bands, because the resistance bands are pretty light. But if you're starting out, they're fantastic. But if you wanted to advance, grab a pair of 12-pound dumbbells like me and do your bicep curls. You can do alternating overhead presses. And if you feel sick, if you can do both. I'm only doing alternating because the side over here. Try not to hit the wall. I think they built the stairs level after construction. So my ceiling has a part of it that comes in like that. And then you can do your high pulse as well. Now, before I show you the other exercise using the dumbbell, another way that you can improve your circulation is you can literally just dangle over and try to go as far down as possible. I'm going to stop this so you guys can kind of like see what I'm doing, because I don't think that angle was complementing what I'm trying to do here in life. So I think you can see that, yeah. Okay, So we're going to go back. And so you're here. So you can do your stretching exercises here. Sorry. You can do your stretching exercises. Again, you want to keep those knees bent. And you want to keep this at the lowest level. And you come back up. So if you were to do like a good morning, this is what this is. Or you can go all the way down. You can do these here. Back extensions. You can start out, once you're comfortable with that, start with one weight. And you can do your back extensions, or you want to call them Romanian deadlifts. I'll call it a back extension today. And do these. And then you can add more compound movement there. And then if you want to even take it even further, you go from here, press up, bring it to your shoulders, and squat. Press up again, bring it down, and repeat. So whatever is easiest for you, so you can just stop there, or bring it here, squat, press up, take it down. So you can do compound movements on here and make this even more efficacious of a workout. You're going to burn more calories, you're going to activate more muscle groups, you're going to contribute even more to improving your bone health. That's what strength training does. So you want to make this a little bit more difficult. You can add a second dumbbell here. So you're here, do your back extensions. And then when you're here, back extension, bicep curl, back to your back extension. So you can make this as complicated, as complex as you want. Making sure all of your movements are nice and controlled. My elbows stay close to my body for this. So you want to make this a little bit more difficult. Go from the back extension, bicep curl, squat, back down to your back extension, bicep curl. So these are some ideas that you guys can add with a dumbbell. So you want to progress this. Go from your bicep curl, from your back extension, bicep curl, squat, overhead press, back down, and repeat. So you can really make this as challenging as you want it to be, depending on your body's availability. So I'm just going to put that down and see what you guys are saying. See what you guys are working with. And you always want to step off with the machine off. I nearly stepped off with it on, but so you want to make sure you turn it off before you step off. So let me see what you guys are working with here. Okay. Okay. All right, guys. So someone here says, someone earlier said like 1950s exercise belts that jiggle the jiggle. I remember those. But then someone else also mentioned, yeah, it doesn't make you stronger at all. It just helps your muscles relax and move fluid around. It does make you stronger because that pulling of your muscles on your bones, that's what gives you strength. It also gives you improved bone health. So I guess that's a good point. When someone says that, I guess I could get the medical. Let me see if I can find that for you guys and share it here. NIH article on vibration plates. Should have had that ready, because I don't want to tell you things that you guys can't research and verify for yourselves that it is. Okay, so there's a clinical utility of whole body vibration, National Institutes of Health. So I am going to post this here so you guys can read it for yourself in your own time. So let me see if I can tag. If that person here, I'll tag them at Jace RYNNE. Just read up on it and just see and see what you guys are working with. Awesome. Hi, Tiara. Make you actually okay. I think you were trying to say you want to exercise more. I'm not too sure about your statement. So help me out there. So I am going over the Life Pro Vibra Pulse, and it's the electro. It's a it offers you electro massage and a myriad of different things. So I'm gonna go ahead and start from the beginning so you guys can kind of like see what this is, what this does, because some of you guys are going in and out, and I want you to have a full understanding of what you are getting when you're getting a vibration plate to make your home gym essential so much more efficacious. And you try this out for, you know, 30 days and see if you see a difference. And I would say you continue doing this until you're 100 years old. It's low impact, but high results. So this is what it sounds like without me on it. One second. Sometimes the cord, I stepped on the cord and it disconnected there. All right. So this is when you press the play button, it goes straight to the lowest speed, which is 001. And this is what it sounds like without me on it. So I just wanted to emphasize just how quiet it is, and it doesn't have like a loud sound. You know what I mean? Like the commercial grade vibration plates that you'd get at the gym. So I want to know if you guys can hear me. I'm trying not to speak too loudly myself because it's kind of early in the morning. And you guys might have other people in your home too, so you don't want to be like disturbing them when you're doing your workouts. And this will be a great addition. So instead of going for a jog outside, if it's raining, you can stand on here for 10 minutes with your feet medium width apart, and you could get a 30 to 60-minute jogging replacement by just standing. So I'm going to go over this next part of my presentation is, instead of demonstrating the speed one more time, I'm going to get on here and I'm going to show you some things that you can do when you're on here to improve your circulation. Let's see. What does it say here? Someone said, I'm sad I already purchased one, but I don't think it's strong enough. Okay. So, someone said, Silent Deborah, so you already purchased one, you don't think it's strong enough? So here's the thing. What model did you get? Can you post it in the chat for me? It's also what you can do on it. It's not so much about the intensity of the speed. Believe it or not, you can do a lot with a low speed and just adding compounding exercises that I just did earlier, and I just did them with the dumbbells. I don't know if you caught that, because I did that at the lowest speed. I don't recommend that you go high speed and intense workouts, particularly for women. If you want results, you want to train your body to work at the intensity of the oscillation of the device, and adding like medium weights, like a 12-pound or a 10-pound dumbbell, and just be consistent for 30 days. And then we progress from there. So it's not so much about it being, maybe, even if it's not the same model as mine, maybe it's all about your application. So there's that. Now, I will say this about the Vibra Pulse. It is intensely strong and I love it. Like at night, if I'm not, not working out, I just put my feet on it. I sit on the edge of the bed and I just sit and I just let it massage the bottom of my feet, and it feels incredible. Okay, and then I lean forward as well, and I put my elbows on my thighs, and then the vibration goes through my body at this bent over angle seated. It feels really good, especially with the EMS. So if you were looking at something that would give you more of a massage in conjunction with the workouts, then I would highly recommend the Vibra Pulse, this one, which is their lower priced version. The next one up is the Waver, which is larger, but that one requires like a dedicated space, right? So, okay, so I don't know if Deborah's still here. All right, so let me go over some other things here. So if you were to, let me see here. If you were to use it, so right now I'm just using some oil. I'm gonna put some oil on my arms. I'm gonna go over some things here about improving your lymphatic drainage and what you can do. This is just me applying it and just making it easier for me to do this next part of the demonstration. So when you're applying the oil, you go from the bottom of your legs and up like that. So the other thing you can do is you can take your shoes off, which is what I recommend, but I'm just not going to do it for this video. And I'm just putting the oil on here so you can see this is how you do your lymphatic drainage. Now I don't have it on yet. I'm just putting on the oil so it's easier when I'm demonstrating so I can show you guys. But in the application, this is the movement that I'll be doing. Now, because you guys are on here, I'm going to do it mostly standing, but you can do this from a seated position as well. And then this type of movement here, this is how you improve it. Now, combined with the plate on, you can do everything I just did. Okay. And then obviously you can have like a boob tube on, so you can have more access here. And then your neck. Okay, so now let's get started. So in addition to using it for a workout, you can use it for lymphatic massage on yourself. So you grab some oil. And you just do this. It doesn't have to be long. Maybe do like 4 or 5 of these, and then you can do this in different positions. You can actually be seated on it and do the same thing, right? And when you're seated on the plate, I would recommend that you have a towel on the plate versus just sitting on it directly. I mean, I've sat on it. It's possible to sit on it comfortably. And you can do one of these, right? And then when you're on it, you can do your lymphatic routine here. And you do the same thing on the other armpit. I mean, there's different lymphatic massages that you can do besides what I'm showing you. But this is just to show you kind of like what you can do when you're on it. And remember, remember the other thing you want to remember to always do is to keep your knees slightly bent. So you don't want your knees locked like that. You want your knees slightly bent. At the end of your workout, you can do this. You can do it in the beginning of your workout, whichever is most comfortable for you. And then you can do your stretches here. And then another way you can do it, like if you're seated a lot, so you want to do these type of movements. And I am padding, you know, or you don't have to pad, but that also helps improve your circulation. So if you have a lot of, you're sitting a lot, you're typing, you can just pull this out from under your desk and do these movements here. And then the other thing you can do is you can arch your foot. You can stabilize yourself on something or have a chair. Okay. And then switch position there and do the same thing. You can bend over just a little bit to have a little bit more emphasis in your lower body, and then come back up. So these are some ideas. So if you're looking for more of like a structured program, something you can follow, I'll put my link for my landing page and you can let me know what you're more interested in. If you like a 4-week program or a 9-week program or 12-week program, and what your goals are for your fitness in the second quarter of 2026. Now I'm going to grab with the remote control here. And I'm going to show you the increased speeds because some of you guys are just coming on. I'm on the Vibropulse Lifepro. And you can press the M button. It'll take you straight up to speed 20. And this is speed 20. And then you press the M button again. Takes you up to speed 50. And then you press it again. It takes you up to 99. I'm sorry, 80. 99 is the max speed, so this is 80. And then you press the M button again. Takes you back down to 20. Now, I'm going to take it back down to 0. Now, most of my movements have been on the plate. There's things that you can, other things you can do. You can do a side lunge, come back on. You can do a forward lunge, all of those things, all the good things. Today is more of like an orientation of the device. So if you guys are contemplating getting it, this might be the day that you actually get it and add it to your home gym. If you have any questions for me, I'd be happy to go over any questions that you may have. I do recommend that when you get it, I know it's super easy setup. I do recommend that you do read the manual from cover to cover, okay? Read it in a relaxed environment and just understand what you're getting yourself into. So a couple of key points, like they say here, you could experience joint and back pain relief. It could boost your metabolism. It could help decrease your stress. It stimulates your muscles. So this increases your strength and helps prevent muscle atrophy. It can help relieve, certain other things like improving circulation, which can also contribute to decreasing your blood pressure. And you can develop stronger bones, and you could increase your bone density from exposure to this. So a couple of other things that I like is here on page 6, it shows you easy workout intensity, the speed levels of 1, 16, 33. That's your easy intensity. And the seconds go from 15:30 to 45 seconds. That's how you introduce yourself to it. Medium is where you get to the speed levels 34, 50, 68. And the times go up from 60 seconds, 75 seconds, 90 seconds, respectfully. And then we have the intense, which is speed level 67, 83, and up to the max 99. And your time of exposure to that could be 105, 120, 135 seconds. So easy position is closer together. Medium is slightly hip width apart, depending on your shoulders. I would say your hip width apart, so not shoulder width apart. But if you go all the way out here, this is the intense here. This is the graduation from easy, medium to intense. I like that they call it intense, not hard. So the only thing with the manual that I'm going to point out, if you get this, I don't know if it's for everybody. It references movements on page 8 and 9, but my page 8 and 9 is missing. So it does go over some movements here, but this page is missing here. So I'm going to email them and see if they can mail me a manual that shows the movements, but it's missing A, B, because it has CD here, E, F, it has GH here, I, J, but it has KL. So these are all the different movements that goes over. Page 8 is missing for some reason. Some graphics on there that are not matching. It's like the back of some other piece of paper that they used. But either way, on page 8 and 9, there's some basic movements that I went over earlier that you can do. There's a couple of recommendations on how I would have you do some of the movements on here. Have a towel or an exercise mat to separate. And I would recommend that you do read page 10, the safety tips, just for you to be aware on usage of this. And I know sometimes people are like, oh, I don't want to read the manuals like this, this like anything else, you want to read the manual. Is my strongest recommendation. So it does come with what's called an optional electrical muscle stimulation, what you call EMS, the EMS function. And you can stand on the vibration plate with clean, dry, bare feet, and you can feel it. I love it. I do the EMS with my feet bare, but seated, which I enjoy in the evening. It's amazing. So you start with the lowest EMS, and it does have EMS goes up to 6 levels, and then you can really feel the greater intensity of the electrical pulses that they have. And it's not medical grade EMS, so you don't have to be concerned about that part. So they have low settings, medium settings, and high settings. So I'm just going to read exactly what the manual says, just in case you don't read it for yourself. What they're recommending for the low settings, which are the programs. So the P in the middle, those are preset programs. P1 to P3 is great for beginners. It offers detoxification, increased bone density, improved balance, lymphatic drainage, and improved posture. So that's the pre-programmed P1, P2, P3. Okay. Medium settings, which are program 4, program 5, up to program 6, is perfect for people with arthritis and fibromyalgia, which is, again, this is in the manual. It's also good for, it's saying that it's good for joint maintenance, improved posture, fat loss, increased bone density, improved balance, and cellulite removal. And that's for me. I've been working on my cellulite, and I have some other stuff that I'll be going over to cover that, because I have cellulite in my stomach and my thighs, and listen, I've worked on this, taken it off, and it came back again, and I know why. So I'm just fixing it. So that medium settings would appeal to me just for that part. Okay, the other stuff is great, but the cellulite removal was the emphasis. Now the high settings, the pre-programs, like I mentioned here, you see that P here? That's P7, P8, and P9 is great for increased intensity, fat loss, muscle growth, highly increased bone density. My foot was like going out that way. Power accumulation and HGH release. So this is on page 15. And it also shows you at the bottom here how you can create a custom workout for yourself. Okay, very, very easy to do. And you can create a custom workout of 1 to 20 minutes. And the default vibration level is 1. However, the speed can be adjusted from 1 to the maximum, which is 99. So, like I mentioned before, easy, speed level 1 to 33, medium difficulty, speed levels 34 to 66, and intense difficulty is 67 to 99. All right, let me stop this here. My laptop needs to be charged here. And whilst that's charging, let me make sure it's charging here. Yeah, it is. So when you're done with it, one of the things you want to do is make sure you turn this off and then you disconnect it. So I'm just going to show you guys the portability of it if you guys are just coming on. So I have the carabinas attached there for this part. So it comes with the resistance band. So I'm just going to detach, I'm going to detach them for the purposes of what I'm going to do next. So if you wanted to take this to your office away from home, you could. It is portable, easy to carry. Good morning. You know, people are like, saying some interesting things here. So here, so when you're seated, you can still control it here. Here, decrease your speed, increase speed. Here are the preset programs. There's 9 preset programs, like I mentioned earlier. You can control your EMS. There's 6 EMS levels. You can decrease and increase it here. And as you can see, it is portable. I don't know how much this weighs. I don't know if it's 12 or 20 pounds, but you can put it in a tote and carry it with you, right? So we're going to go back to the beginning here. It does come with the resistance bands, which are pretty light for me. But if you're starting out with your workouts and you want to add a strength training component, you can use the resistance bands. If you are ready for it, you can also add dumbbells to your program using this. So I'm going to go ahead and show that to you guys again. I'm just going to connect that, put that on. So you can add dumbbell. If you guys are saying anything. Okay. So I recommend that you do your workouts, particularly with a dumbbell. You start out at the lowest speed. So you don't want to go, you know, to 33 right away. So I'm going to start where it sets a default of 1. And here is your single dumbbell. So you remember, the closer your feet are together, this is easy. Hip width apart or medium apart. That's medium. And then if you stand completely to the outside, the width, the fullest extent of the width of the vibration plate, that's intense. So you can just stand on here with a dumbbell. And this is going to improve. This is your progression. So if I was standing on it and for the first 3 weeks or whatever, and I'm just standing, that's different. But now I want to turn it into more of a workout. You can do this and just hold this for like a minute at a time in different positions. You can just hold it here. Okay, so you can hold it with your arms extended, but my arms are not locked. They're slightly bent. You always want to have your elbows and knees slightly bent. The other thing you can do your bicep curls. After that, you can progress. Maybe do 8 to 12 bicep curls. So I'm just demonstrating right now. And then you can progress as you're standing at an overhead press. Somebody made a comment the other day. It's like, oh, you didn't shave your arms. Listen, I've got pigmentation under my armpits, so I just want to let you know. Chocolate girl problems. So that's your overhead presses. Now you can actually advance that. You can do bicep curl, overhead press. And again, I'm at the lowest speed 1. I'm at speed 1. You don't need to go to 33. You start out here. Now you want to add a lower body component. You can do a back extension here and just hold back extension. Or you can go up and down, maintaining a nice neutral position here with your knees slightly bent. And now you can make this even more compound back extension and bicep curl and back to your back extension. So giving you guys some ideas on how to utilize your 20 minutes on here because it's preset to 20 minutes. You can increase your time. Now let's increase your complexity. So you go back to I'm sorry, you cannot increase your time on the preset. So you do a back extension, bicep curl, and you can add that overhead press. So now here's your maximum compound movement, quote unquote, if you remain on the plate. Now, if you wanted to add something where you get off the plate, then of course, but just for ease of flowing into a compound movement, if you wanted to add this as a workout, this is what you could do. So I hope this helps with giving you some ideas when you're on here for 20 minutes before work and you wanted to add a workout. And then remember, you can always just hold it here, or you can hold it here. Now, when you're ready, you can just do a farmer's hold here with both weights. Now, if you can hold it for 20 minutes, this is still a workout, just holding it here. You want to increase difficulty, hold it here. And then when you're ready, you can add alternating bicep curl. So again, this is preset to 20 minutes. This is P1. And do alternating bicep curls, maybe do 3 each side, 8 or 12 each side. You want to increase the intensity of that. Bring these up and do alternating overhead press. And let's say you wanted to make it even more challenging for yourself, you can do a dual overhead press and taking your time. And again, between 3 and 8 or 8 to 12. Now, let's say you wanted to make this a little bit more challenging, bicep curl, overhead press. So you can do your hammers, overhead press. You want to add a lower body component to your back extension with both dumbbells to start. So remember, it's all about adding the complexity without adding the difficulty. So if you guys are looking for an alternative to going to the gym, if you have the space, you can use this. So now we're going to give you an idea on how to make this a little bit more challenging. Go from your back extension to your bicep curl, and then back to your back extension. And again, you can do 3 to 8 of these. And I've set it, I selected the preset 1, and all of them are preset to 20 minutes in length. So you go from here and maybe do the hammer curl overhead press. Back down. So now adding that compound movement to the 20-minute total. And again, my speed is at 0, 1, the lowest speed, which is what I recommend even if you're super fit. You start here. So I've got 8 minutes left. So you can use these 8 minutes any which way you want. You can say, okay, I'm done with that. And I'm just going to hold the farmer's hold for the remaining 8 minutes. And this is going to compound the demand on your muscles to strengthen, improve your overall fitness, just holding it on the vibration plate. If that's too much, you can just hold on to one. You can hold it in any position that you feel most comfortable. And if you just want to not do that, you can put both weights down and your back here. And you just stand, like I mentioned earlier. So if you wanted to finish off the rest of the time, you can do your self-massage here, improve your circulation. So we have try to look at the time. There's 6 minutes left. So this is more of a demonstration. So if you want to improve your circulation, get ready for your work day, you can add the strength training component. You can add, like I showed you earlier, and then you can do this self-massage at the end. Then while you're standing, if you're able to, you can do this to improve the circulation on your legs. Now you want to focus on your lower leg by itself, but I'm just doing this for the purposes of just moving through the demonstration, because you can just come up here and do this part. Now you can do this seated, or you can do this standing. There's different things you can do. You can also do the back of your knees as well. I just didn't do that. I'm just trying to keep things simple so you guys can kind of like catch on and remember to do certain things. And like I mentioned before, when you get this device, I highly recommend that you read the manual for yourself, read safety tips, so that you're not just on plugging and play, which is very easy to do. I recommend that you read it from cover to cover, understand it, and replace your personal trainer. Now, looking to have transformation and a more of a program besides what's offered for free through their websites and their YouTube channel, you can always check out my landing page that I will put back up in the chat to refresh you guys. So if you're interested in my programs, you could do that. Also, if you're interested in finding out more about this VibraPulse, you can click the link in my description or wherever the icon is for it and read the reviews. I read all the reviews of all the vibration plates. So if you're in between decisions, guess what? I have a second vibration plate that I'm going to be featuring. It's not sponsored. I've invested in these, and not that there's anything wrong. I've got several things that are sponsored, but this one is not sponsored, and the next one isn't either. They're in the same class of vibration plates, and I'm going to cover that in a different live. But for today, we'll focus on VibraPulse. It comes with an EMF, which I love. When you have your bare feet, it gives you that electrical stimulation for your muscles. It's not medical grade like a patch that you get at the hospital for sure. But it's the technical term that they would reference it, but I just want you to know that it's not as intense as it sounds, but it is very, very, very distinctly great. That's what I love about the VibraPulse more than the waiver, the next class up is that this comes with the EMS function. And then the portability of this, right? You can take this to the office, you can move it around the house very easily. The waiver, you need a dedicated space for that. So there's that. So this is one of my top low impact, high result home essentials that I recommend. You just got to choose the vibration plate that's best for you based on what you're looking for. One of the reasons why I picked Lifepro first to feature is because they do come with a lifetime warranty and they have an excellent aftercare, meaning if you have any questions, you need any kind of support with your device, you can get it from them. I still got the insurance through Amazon when I purchased the Asurian because even though they have a lifetime warranty, I wanted coverage for the next 2 years in case of other stuff that may or may not be covered in the warranty. So hi and welcome. I will be addressing your comments here in just a moment. So in these last minutes, I'm going to go over showing you the speed. If you wanted this last minute to give you kind of like that finisher is what I call it, you can press the M button on the remote. It'll take you straight up to 20 speed. You press it again. So this is 20. So you press it again, it takes you up to 50 in a matter of seconds. This is 50. You press it again, takes you up to 80 in a matter of seconds. All right, so I'm just gonna press the double button and that's how quickly it stops. That was intense. It was super intense. Okay, let me see what you guys are talking about. I understand. So John Doe says, doubt it helps with bone density or HGH release. This is most likely good for releasing fat deposits in a way that helps with equalizing cellular burn. So there are some medical articles that you can read about vibration plate technology and its contribution to improving bone density and other components that are claimed by the manufacturer. So that's something you can just read up on. And I put the article in the chat. So if you want to scroll up and see that, if you have the time. If not, then thanks for your comment. It does mean a lot when you guys do comment. So I appreciate it. Okay, so I'm about to land the plane here. So let's just go over some things. I was charging my laptop. So, okay, so here is the clinical study that you can read up on, you guys. And then if you wanted to get in touch in real life, here is my my page where you can tell me what it is you're interested in hearing more from me about. And also here is my Amazon store. And you can also grab, oh, sorry. You can also grab the vibration plate that I'm on at this link. So I'm just putting it in the chat, make it easier for you guys to see. And let's see if you guys have any questions in here. Okay, at Silent Deborah, she says it's the Mirage whole body vibration plate. Oh, I love this. Yeah, because she had mentioned that it wasn't strong enough. And I would mention that it's not about so much about the intensity, it's about the usage. You want it, I recommend lower speeds and adding compound exercises with 10 to 12-pound dumbbells. I think that's more efficient use of the machine as opposed to trying to be like, everything has to be super intense. Not everything has to be super intense to get the results that you're looking for. And then, you can always test what I'm saying by being consistent with it for the next 30 days. Today, I just gave you some ideas, and I love this comment. Um, Silent Deborah said, you are reshaping my idea of how to use my plate. Exactly. And that's the whole purpose of this. Whether you already have a plate for yourself or whether you're contemplating getting one, this is going to help you in the orientation of what this one offers. Or if you already have one, it'll also give you, well, like she said, a reshaping of how to use it at the lower speed to get the results of a workout that is very, very high result oriented. Because, like I mentioned, it's not the intensity of the speed, it's the oscillation and the vibration at the lower levels, adding dumbbells. That is where your sweet spot for transformation is going to start. But in order to get to the other side, you also need consistency as well. So, in the beginning, if you didn't want to get a program, you didn't want to, you know, have me write something up for you, or you get one of my programs, some of the ideas that I went over in this video, I hope they give you a foundation in the preset levels at the lowest level to add one set of dumbbells, 20 minutes. This is what you can do. You can focus on one movement and just repeating that. You can focus on just holding the dumbbells at the lower speed, and that is going to give you the added power, the added intensity, as opposed to going up in speed and the vibration intensity. Compound your time by adding a set of dumbbells. The resistance bands that it comes with are fantastic if you don't have anything at all, but I would recommend using a set of dumbbells. And you can do the workout seated or you can do the workout standing. Also, always remember to keep your elbows slightly bent and your knees slightly bent. So you never want to have your knees locked or your elbows locked, and you don't want to be straight up on it, right? If you're going to do other movements, I'm going to go down. I'm going to remove a comment here. Okay, I'm going to remove another comment. Um, Thank you so much for your great comments here. So now I'm going to put this here, guys, and I'm going to go over something, just one more thing before we land the plane here. So when you are using this and you want to, I don't know if you guys can see because of the chat, desktop, and you put your hands on it, I recommend that you have a towel here or some kind of like exercise mat, right? So when you make direct contact on it. But because we're at the end, I am going to go over the last piece. I'm just going to take my shoes off here. I'm going to go over the last piece. You can see the other one. I'm going to feature this one. I'm trying to keep this out of the frame, but oh wow. So let's see if I can just turn this over this way. Okay, yeah, there we go. So you guys don't get distracted by that one. That's for another time. So what I'd mentioned earlier is the EMS function. So I'm going to go here, and it's this part here. So when you have the remote control, this is like waving part here. This is the EMS, and you can increase the EMS. There's 6 levels to it. You can press the H 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times, or take it down here. Okay, and then here are your preset programs. And again, I'm covering the Lifepro Vibropulse, and it has 9 preset programs, but you can also create a manual program for yourself as well. So I'm just going to give you the definition of what they call EMS. You know, hospital grade EMS is completely different, but they call it electrical muscle stimulation EMS tips. So I'm just going to read it directly for you guys to understand. When using the optional electrical muscle stimulation EMS function, stand on the vibration plate with clean, dry, bare feet. So you don't have to put both feet. What I like to do is to put one foot at a time or do it seated at the edge of my bed. But for the sake of this video, I'm going to demonstrate it standing. It says, do not use alcohol, lotions, creams, or oils on your feet. So make sure that when you're doing your lymphatic drainage, like when I applied the oils earlier, don't do it at the bottom of your feet, okay? You want your feet to be clean and dry, very important. So if you're going to do a foot massage, you're gonna do that stuff, don't do it on the days that you're gonna be standing on here, all right? Uh, Again, I stand by their recommendation here that says begin with the lowest EMS intensity level 1 and increase it gradually. If you feel pain or discomfort, turn down the intensity level. It says do not place your fingers or objects between the machine and your skin. Okay. All right, there's some other stuff there you can read for yourself when you get to that point. So now I'm going to just put my foot on and I'm going to get it started. And I'm start at the EMS 1, level 1. And if you need, you can stabilize yourself if you have one foot on here. And or you can stand with both feet if you want. But for this purposes, there's something I'm going somewhere with this for landing the plane. So we're coming to the conclusion. So press the H to increase the EMS. So I'm at 2 now. 3 is when I really start to feel it. So I'm at 6. You don't have to start at 6, but there's a couple of things that I recommend that you do. You can just bend over here to finish up your workout. You can lean if you are not able to hold yourself up. But when you make this contact, you're getting a little bit more of the vibration as well, but not so high impact as standing. And then another thing you can do, you can take, if you can reach, you can take your palm on the outside and place it on the outside of your foot and just open up here. Okay. And my other foot is slightly turned out, so it's not directly forward. You can do forward or slightly turned out and just open up here, just stretch it out. Now, if you can't reach that far, just go to your foot and just make contact with your foot if you can't go on the outside of your foot. And just try to open it up away. So we're landing the plane here for the pulse. Different ways that you can use it. You can use it. And then with that same foot on there, you can finish up with your circulation here, lower leg, and then come to your upper leg here. 3, take your fists outside. 3, and take it up here. And then showing you how you can do your self-care. And then the other thing you can do with that foot on, arch that foot and just lean into it. And then put that heel. And then I'm just having it just a little bit here so that I can increase the stretch in my hamstring. But you can stand as well. I'm just trying to double up your efficacy here. And then same thing, take this hand, go to the outside of that leg, and then try and open up the other way. Now, if you can't open up the other way because of the trying to stabilize, just go as far as you can and then gradually open up. And then come back and then switch sides. So let's try that routine on the other side. So we start here. And remember, you can bend over just a little bit, as long as you want. So I can feel the tingling on the leg that was exposed to the EMS here. Okay, and then you can take this hand on the outside of that foot and try to touch again If you can't do this, you can just make contact with your foot here and then open it up. And while you're here, if you're able to, do the other side. I didn't do it in this order earlier, but if you can't go between the two, take a break like I did earlier. Come up, do something different, and then come back and open up to the other side. So this is challenging your balance as well. So you have to make sure that you're aware of your ability to do this. All right, so now let's go into your circulation here, lower leg, and then let's come to upper leg. Fists. And then you can also do back of your knees, which I didn't do earlier. So now arch that foot, lean forward. Place that. Now you can stand, you can lean forward and get more of a stretch in your hamstring as well. And then for the final time, you can stand on it and get the full EMS with this VibraPulse. It's intense. I put it at 6. I'm going to take it down. I put it at 6 when I'm doing the alternate feet. Whoa, that was like, no. So now I'm back to 1 EMS. So putting both feet on, I get more exposure to the EMS. The muscle stimulation type thing that they have. So I like it at 1 when I have both feet standing. When I'm seated, I like it at a higher EMS. And I like it at a higher EMS when I'm doing single leg placements like what I just showed you guys. So when you get this, if you get this, you'll understand what I mean in terms of like the variance of the EMS exposure, but it feels so good. You can feel those EMS electrical things going through, and they just, it helps, it improves even more. You know, it's oscillating, but then it also has the EMS, so it's an even more circulation boosting effect. And you can increase it by pressing H, such I'm taking it up to 2, standing. And I think 3 is like my max standing that I personally prefer. Any higher is just like, it's not for me yet. It's not about how high you go, and trying to get to another level is what is most comfortable for you. And so, and lastly, one last demonstration. Press the M, takes you up to 20 right away with the EMS at 3. Press it again, takes you up to 50, and this is 50. Press it again, and we're at 80. With the EMS at 3, and I can feel it all through my body now. It's going all the way up my spine, well, the sides of my back. It feels really good. And then when we're done, you can just press that pause button, and we're done. All right, guys, so thank you so much for being a part of this. Let me see if you guys have any, oops, just disconnected my laptop there. All right, so no more questions. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. I hope this was helpful. Again, this was a review of the VibraPulse Lifepro and by Lifepro, and I'll be covering another vibration plate in the same class. Is what I call it, the same class, for you guys to make an educated decision as to which one you would prefer, in addition to reading the reviews before you making your purchase. If you're ready to make your purchase today, I highly recommend this VibraPulse Lifepro. The link is in my description. And sorry, I was reading a comment. The link is in my description or wherever you guys are watching. I think there's an icon that you guys can click to look into it, read the reviews, and then purchase it for one of your home gym essentials. And that is what the month of April is going to be all about. Home gym essentials that are stowaway, easy, and low impact but high results. Yeah, I'm about transformation. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys have a great Wednesday.